The refuge is still in the early stages of its development, and while more visitor facilities are planned, amenities are still fairly basic.
Hi, Eric.
Hi, Dave.
Thanks for meeting us here today.
Yeah.
We appreciate it.
Eric, nice to meet you.
Chris, good to meet you. Welcome.
We're glad to be here. Tell us a little bit about what Ash Meadows is.
Well, it's one of 500 national wildlife refuges that are spread throughout the United States, including Alaska and Hawaii. But it was established for rare and unique species, species of fish, plants, invertebrates that are unique to this area. And in fact, they've evolved here for about the last couple thousand years. It's a wetland, it's sort of a desert oasis, and there's a number of springs that occur in this area, sort of a unique geologic formations that create the abundance of water that occurs in this otherwise very dry and arid desert landscape. And the refuge is here to try to protect and restore populations of native fish, native plants.
So now what's the best way to view some of these animals and some of the plants?
Well, this boardwalk here was built about 3 years ago, and this is one of the best places to come on the refuge if you only have a couple hours time to try to get a feel for what the area has to offer. And this boardwalk is 1/3 of a mile long, and it leads out to Crystal Spring.
As we walk out to Crystal Spring, I notice what looks like an eagle's nest in a nearby mesquite tree.
That is actually a clump of mistletoe.
Oh,
Yeah, it looks like a nest, doesn't it?
I didn't know we had mistletoe in Nevada.
Yeah, there's a type of mistletoe. You always think of mistletoe as growing on, oak trees.
Yeah.
Either in California or the East Coast. There's a type of mistletoe that grows on these mesquite trees out here. And yeah, sometimes it looks like a big eagle nest.
The boardwalk takes us through a wetlands marsh area that is accented by some beautiful flowing grass. We also come upon a waterfowl I'm not familiar with, the coot.
The coots are one of the most numerous waterfowl on that lake, and they're kind of dumb. I mean, they have a lot of character and they have a lot going for them, but probably brain power is not one. So they make a real easy prey.
For the eagles?
Yeah.
Swoop down and scoop up a coot and
Yeah.
go on their way.
They're not real strong flyers, so
Oh.
they kind of fly slow, and they're probably slow to react to the eagle swooping on them. And so yeah, these eagles, and they're probably pretty good tasting to the eagle. So here we're at Crystal Spring, and this is one of our largest springs here at Ash Meadows. It's not only deep and wide, but it produces the most water of all the springs on this refuge. It produces 2,500 gallons per minute.
The spring, as well as the surrounding waterways, is home to the Ash Meadows pupfish.
These are, in this Crystal Spring, these are Ash Meadows pupfish. They're one of 4 native species that we have here at Ash Meadows. There's 3 other pupfish species. There's, as well as the Ash Meadows pupfish, there's what we call Warm Springs pupfish and the Devil's Hole pupfish. And the one other native species is a different type of native fish called the speckled dace.
I know it's a silly question, but so you have this 1-inch fish, and we're putting a lot of effort into maintaining habitat and keeping them around. Why?
Well, it's not just for the fish. I mean, they are sort of the flagship or indicator species for this ecosystem, and they are the species that almost went extinct about 15 or 20 years ago before the refuge was established. Really what we're doing is restoring a whole unique ecosystem. I mean, that's really what it's all about. Our mandate is for endangered species, but when it comes right down to it, the endangered species are sort of an umbrella or a protectorate for an ecosystem.